Hello and welcome to Kev's English Podcast, Real English every week with your host Kev Dean.
Hello, it's Kev here. Welcome to Kev's English Podcast. Don't remember what the episode number is. Could be 26, it could be 25 or 27. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll find out afterwards. Anyway, it's been a week or two since my last podcast, which is a pity. I was hoping to do one episode a week. I was going to do some interviews with some of my students, but it's a problem finding the right time to interview them. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to give some movie or film, as we call them, some film reviews, because as I mentioned in previous episodes, I like watching film. I've seen must be thousands of films now over the years, and sorry, and I try and watch it at least one a night, sometimes two, depending on how it goes. I like watching videos on YouTube, informative ones, not random kind of crap. But watching films. So in this past week or so, I'll talk about these. Okay. So I just finished watching The Rookie from 1990. That's a Clint Eastwood film with Charlie Sheen, actually. So it's Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, the late Raul Julia, who died, I think it was of cancer quite a few years back, which is a shame because he was an excellent actor. And in this film, Clint Eastwood's a detective working on Grand Theft Auto, and Charlie Sheen, the rookie of the title, he joins him as his partner, and they have various adventures before they track down Raul Julia, the criminal mastermind. And yeah, I have to say, it's not one of Clint's best. There's one particular scene which is frankly ridiculous, and if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Well, actually, there's two, but there's one rather bizarre sex scene where the girlfriend of the criminal mastermind has sex with Clint while he's handcuffed into a chair, which I skipped over. I don't want to watch a guy in his 60s doing that kind of activity. And there's another scene where they drive a car out of a building just before it explodes. So you've got obvious CGI of Clint and Charlie Sheen in the car with this massive fireball behind them, and the whole thing just looks kind of ridiculous, you know. But that aside, and there's one or two other things, but it's not bad. Most films with Clint Eastwood in are definitely worth a watch. Charlie Sheen's not his usual addicted self, crazy self, shall we say. There's some good action in it, and all in all, it's not too bad. I have seen it before, a long time ago, but anyway. Before that, I was watching The Last of the Mohicans from 1992. This is Daniel Day-Lewis. I think he'd only got one Oscar by this time for My Left Foot. So this was in 92. Sorry, no, his Oscar was in 89, I think, for My Left Foot. So he did this one, The Last of the Mohicans. He also won Oscars in 2007 and 2012. Anyway, so it's based on the novel by James Fenimore Cooper, if I remember, and it's about it's set in a French Indian wars. Well, the English, the colonists, and the French and the Indians. So this is probably 1750s, I think, 1750s-ish. About 20 odd years before the Revolutionary War of independence. So it's kind of a Western, but not with cowboys, but with the settlers, the British Army, the French Army, and the Indians. And it's pretty epic, I have to say. Madeleine Stowe is in it. You don't see much of her these days. I don't know why, but she was quite a big star at that time. Madeleine Stowe. Who else is in it that you might know? There's a few good English actors. I won't tell you their names because I'm sure that most of you won't actually know them. So Madeleine Stowe, Wes Studi, the Native American actor guy. He's in it, and it's pretty decent. It's certainly an epic film, and I would recommend it. So if you're into that kind of historical drama with a strong hero and a villain, a good protagonist and antagonist, it's definitely worth a watch. I would check it out. Okay, another very interesting film. The new Tom Hardy film called Havoc came out this year, though interestingly I think they filmed it in 2021 and 22, so it's been, for some reason it's been shelved for the last 3 years, and it was filmed entirely in Wales, which is interesting because it's actually set in some unnamed American city. Anyway, and it's directed by Gareth Evans, the guy who did those Indonesian films, The Raid and The Raid Part 2. Excellent martial arts films. In fact, I was watching The Raid Part 1 last night. I'll be finishing that later. I'll talk about that at a later date. But anyway, in Havoc, Tom Hardy's a cop. You've got Forrest Whitaker in it. Let me see if I can remember who's in it, who the big stars are. So Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker, and the rest of them, I've never heard of them. So it's kind of like a revenge thriller. Somebody kidnaps the son of this crime boss who he did some dealings with, and he's got to rescue him. So he's charging around all over the city, shooting people and beating them up. And there's a good fight scene at the end with hand-to-hand and firearms. So it's not his best film, it's not Tom Hardy's best, but anything with Tom Hardy in is really worth a watch, you know. So I recommend that. You can stream that because it's on Netflix. I think they did a deal with Netflix, so you can watch it there. But I get all my films on the internet. There's one particular site, well, there's actually 2 sites. I won't name them because it's not strictly legal, but there's lots of streaming sites where you can find these. Now, a better film, The Accountant Part 2. This came out this year, just a couple of weeks back. It's Ben Affleck. You might remember him, he's quite a famous Hollywood actor. And John Bernthal is in it. He was in The Punisher, I think. I haven't seen much of him before. Anyway, The Accountant 2 is a sequel to The Accountant that came out in 2016. So Ben Affleck is an autistic genius of mathematics. He's an accountant and he's working for the mafia and the mob and drug dealers, cartels. He helps them to launder their books. And he's also quite skilled at beating people up and killing them. And The Accountant 2 somebody who he used to know is murdered. He's asked to help solve the case. His younger brother, John Berntal, comes and joins in. And it's a pretty decent film. There's some good action in it. A lot of the best scenes are the interactions between Ben Affleck and John Berntal as siblings. You know, they argue and kind of bicker, and the best scenes really are those that you see the interplay with those two guys. So it's pretty decent. So the Accountant 2, that's only been out for 2 or 3 weeks now. You can find that. Another one which I saw now, Pope Benedict died a couple of weeks back, and that drove me to watch this film called The Two Popes. Came out in 2019. Now, for those of you who don't know the history of the Catholic Church, so we had John Paul II from 78 to 2003. I can't remember, 2003, 2005. He died. Then we had the German Pope, Cardinal Ratzinger, who became Pope Benedict, and he resigned. Very unusual, not without precedent. Most popes simply die in the office because they're quite old. But Pope Benedict resigned in 2013 and he died in 2015, I think. So Pope Francis, the last one who just died a few weeks back, he was there, I think, 2013 to 2025. So this film is about a meeting that the two popes had, because obviously when Pope Benedict retired, he didn't die. So they had two popes, but he was called the Pope Emeritus. So you had Pope Benedict and Pope Francis. And this film is about a series of meetings that the two popes, well, obviously Benedict was the Pope then, and the Pope Francis' name was it Gabriel Bergoglio? I can't remember. But anyway, so he was a cardinal at the time. He was Argentinian. So it's a two-hander, a dialogue, and you've got who was it? Anthony Hopkins as Benedict, a pretty famous English actor, 2-time Oscar winner. You might know him from Silence of the Lambs. So Tony Hopkins and Jonathan Pryce, another excellent English actor. It's basically just these two characters. They're simply sitting and talking about faith, life, the church, etc. It sounds like it might be boring, but actually no, it was pretty decent. I would recommend it if you're into good acting and dialogue. If you want action, go check out The Accountant and Havoc. If you want good dialogue and acting, check out The Two Popes. I saw Die Hard 4, Live Free or Die Hard. That's 2007, with Bruce Willis, of course, as what's his character called now? John McClane. Yeah. So this was quite interesting because it's about a cyber attack on America. So it was quite prescient for its time, 2007. Timothy Olyphant is the antagonist. You might know his face. He's been in quite a lot of TV stuff recently. He's pretty good. Oh yeah, and he's in Havoc also. Now I remember, he's one of the villains in Havoc. So Live Free and Die Hard. John McClane takes this computer geek, computer nerd as his partner. I suppose. I can't remember the guy's name, the actor's name, and they're trying to solve this mystery of a cyber attack on America. It's not the best of the diehards, but still, it's definitely worth a watch. Now, the final film I'm going to mention, for today, is called 13 Bombs. Now, this is an Indonesian film, came out 2 years ago, and it's an action, a thriller, set in Jakarta. So there's some kind of a terrorist group, and they're setting off bombs all over the city in Jakarta. And there's a counter-terrorist group who's trying to track them down, and a couple of computer geeky nerds, and the girlfriend of one of them gets roped in for some reason. So you've got the counter-terrorists, and they have to recruit these two computer, because it's all based about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, cyber kind of stuff. So the counter-terrorist boys get these two computer geeks to join them, and there's some good action scenes in it. I was quite impressed. I think I was reading on IMDb that I think this 13 Bombs was the most expensive Indonesian film produced at that time. So the special effects, the quality of the film, it's pretty much American. I mean, it's up to the standards of Hollywood. Lots of films are with low budgets. They don't have the same look, the same quality, the same feel, because they can't afford it. But it's pretty good. They've obviously spent quite a bit of money on this, and apart from it being Indonesian, which makes no odds, you can get the subtitles up. It's well worth watching. I quite enjoyed it. With some good action in it. So that's what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films. I think that's all. I was watching a couple last night, but I've not finished them yet. But anyway, so the Rookie, 1990, Last of the Mohicans, 1992, Havoc, 2025, The Accountant 2, 2025, The Two Popes, 2019, Live Free or Die Hard, 2007, and 13 Bombs, 2023. And I've seen quite a few more films, including some recent ones. I might talk about those at a later date, but I don't want to be talking about hundreds and hundreds of films. But anyway, they're the films that I've seen in the last couple of weeks, I think, week or so, heading up to 2 weeks. So that's my recommendations. Okay, that'll do for today. I'll see you for the next time. Bye for now.